Hello. It's about 9 in the morning. It's Monday, the 18th of November. And I just delivered some pipe steel from Canada right across the border. It was right next to Detroit, like 20 miles in or something. And then took that I picked it up on Saturday afternoon and just delivered that this morning. I was supposed to deliver it at 6 a.m., so I got up at around 4 because I had pushed it. Getting across the border took a little while longer than it should have. I had a little bit of an inspection, and that it took forever to pay. They had a fee I had to pay, and it just took forever to get there. It was super weird. There were like 3 people behind different counters when I went in the building, and one of them I couldn't tell what he was doing. There was one guy in front of me. So there were like 2 customers and 3 agents, but only one of them appeared to be doing so. I guess the other agents were for other things, and I guess I don't know. It was weird. Um, there's this strange underlying tension at the border the whole time. And everything is confusing and weird. Just like the way the lanes are set up, the way he said, I don't know, just like stuff isn't very well explained or posted or anything. So, like when they said parking around, they told me to go around the building and find some parking, and I probably stopped too early because I saw some bays where there were places I could park. I didn't see at that point that there was another lot a little further on, but I didn't want it, there were several different lanes and I couldn't tell where to go. So I thought, well, I can park here. There was an empty bay. I guess they probably use them for inspections, but whatever. I could fit there, and so I did, and then I walked in. Eventually got it sorted out, got across the border, pushed into, I think I made it to the other side of Indianapolis that night. And then I pushed all day. On Sunday was a long day. I ended up with like around 5 minutes left on my drive clock. It was 4 minutes, I think. 4 minutes on my drive clock when I finally got parked at. It was about an hour and a quarter from the destination, and I did real good at getting up, getting started. Both that day, the Sunday, and today. I got up right after my 10-hour break was done, and I just barely made it by the time. It said on the paperwork that it's like they have this thing just in time delivery, where I guess they guarantee, or I don't know if they pay extra for it, but they want us to be there a certain time. But the guys at the warehouse didn't seem fussed. Like I bet I could have been there almost any time and it wouldn't have affected them any. So I don't know what that was about, or like who thought that was really important that I be there at 6 a.m. today. But it didn't seem like it was super important. But whatever, I did it. And had one of these. Let's see. These I like these for breakfast when I'm going to go be working. So I had that for breakfast. I was driving in, and then now I'm at this tiny little truck stop. I'll turn the camera around and talk about it a little bit. So this is the tiny, well, it's not a really good view, but this is a tiny little truck stop in Durant, Oklahoma. It's pretty close to the Texas border, I think. Let's see. Look at, I don't know if this is a good view. Let's see where I'm at. Yeah, real close to the Texas border on near US 75. So it has a tiny little Love's. I do not recommend this one. They have the entrance and the exit they're on this light here, but you're not supposed to get to this parking without going around and through the pumps. And there's only like 3 pumps. And when I got here, it was backed up all the way to nearer to the light. If it had been backed up a little bit more, I would have seen and not gone in. But then I realized, oh, this is not moving, and I can't get it. Like, you have to go through the pumps to get around here to where the parking is. I think some people, well, probably the people that know about this, probably ignore that and go through the exit. But I don't know. Anyways, it's a little bit of a tiny little thing, a little bit of a mess. I actually, one of the pumps is down over there, like pump 1 is down. They had some cones in it, so eventually I was able to, I moved, I kind of skipped the line a little bit because I didn't need fuel. I just wanted to park and sit here waiting for my next load to come through. And so I drove up to the cones, moved my truck through to the other side of the pump, and then put the cones back so I could come back, get over here. Anyways, little things like that. Today was, you can see it's a little bit cloudy. There's been some kind of spotty torrential downpours. I got in where they were unloading me. It was I don't know if I said it was pipe steel. It was pipe steel. It wasn't like round pipe, but it was more like squared, but like with rounded corners. Anyways, or like rectangle. Anyways, it was some steel pipe, and they had where they were unloading me was actually in under a garage, kind of a, I don't know what they would call it. It's like a garage doors on both sides. I pulled through. There was a crane in the middle where they were unloading from. But I was indoors. The truck was indoors. But I pulled all the way up to the front to the other door. Was about where my nose was. And when I pulled off the tarps, 2 of them, I took them out the front door, because it wasn't raining at the time that I parked. I could see the clouds were gray, but I didn't know how close the rain was. And then during unstrapping and everything, some rain came through, got my tarps wet, and then but then there was some breaks in the weather when I went out and rolled them up. So they're wet, but I didn't get super wet. A little bit. Not too bad. I could have been a lot worse. So not too bad. I did want to, I'll probably put in some footage from the Ozarks. I guess I kind of want to get caught up a little. I can't remember everything that's happened since I made a video, but I guess the major thing, I just passed a year of actual driving with with the two companies put together. So I started driving. I mean, it depends on how you count it, but I started driving November 15th for Schneider on my own. That was when I finally got in a solo truck, which also happens to be my birthday, so it was super easy to remember. And I actually turned 40 this year, so it's kind of I don't know. It's not as bad as it used to be. I used to be in a really bad spot as far as like feeling really depressed on my birthday about where I was in life. I'm still. I don't know. I'm solving some of the problems that I've had. Still have others to deal with. There's still more that I want to move towards having a better life, but I do think there's some value in the time that I've spent in, I guess, I call it falling out of society, or like falling out of the world, or in the underworld. I feel like I'm a deeper person, hopefully more wise. I was just thinking about that. How would I know if I was more wise? How would you know if somebody else was wise? What would you do to test? But anyways, I'm hoping that that even though I'm not as accomplished or in a great spot as far as finances, or like I'm in a better spot and I'm moving in a better direction. But as far as like other people my age, I'm way behind. But I've had a lot of time to grow as a person, and so there's some things like I do want a family and I do want to have kids at some point. I'm still hoping that that I can move towards that. But I'm hoping that some of the time, even though I don't know, it's a different cadence or a different time period than other people do that sort of thing. I hope that some of being deeper as a person will make me better at doing things like that. So we'll see. Still have a lot of time left in me, and I'm trying to maintain my health. That's part of why I'm going to keep being flatbed as I think as much as well, if I can, as long as I don't get something terrible happen, as long as something terrible doesn't happen, I should continue with flatbed, and a lot of that's for the health of just being outside the truck and doing the work is, I think, more healthy. It's at least more healthy for me. It gets me in that kind of that mode. But like I was saying, hopefully I've been playing some Ozarks footage. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that it was in the history of me driving recently. That's one of the significant things that I enjoyed a few trips back now. I'm trying to remember how many loads that was. I think that was to pick up the load before this one. I was in a awkward spot in Missouri. Like, it was a awkward transition from where I dropped to where I was going to pick up, and so I ended up going through the Ozarks on some small-ish roads, and in southeast Missouri. It was it was good. It was a lot of one of the twistiest, windiest roads I've ever been on. I really liked the forest. I liked the hills. It was a comfortable, kind of nice, just a nice place. I like the farmland in the forested states because it doesn't seem like it's broken up by like if there's unused space, it's filled with trees instead of just like grass. And so I think it helps to break up the monotony, or the, I don't know, the landscape looks nicer to me. So there was some of that. There was some farmland, and then more just forest and hills. And I enjoyed that drive. And then where did I take that? Went from there in Missouri to Ohio, somewhere like north, a little bit towards the west of Ohio. And that one decision I made there was I had the choice to go through Indianapolis or through both, what's the Kentucky town? Louisville, and one of the Ohio ones. It was at Cincinnati, maybe. I still don't have the map of Ohio town or cities in my head really good. But anyways, I chose to go through two cities versus going through Indianapolis, one city, Indianapolis, and I was because I don't like driving in Indiana, and I don't like driving in Indianapolis, so I chose to go the other way. I was like, I don't know, 20 miles more. And it was so much better. It was so much better. This trip I just did, I went through Indianapolis. It was kind of like pretty unavoidable. I pretty much needed to do it, and I really don't like driving through Indiana, the whole state, and especially Indianapolis. I went through at a evening, so it wasn't too bad, but I still don't like it. I think I did Indianapolis and St. Louis on the way here, and then that's kind of how I view my drives. That's the obstacles are, to me, the obstacles are the cities. I don't mind the countryside. Let's see what is this police doing? Hopefully I don't attract him with having the camera out. It wasn't for him, honest. But there he goes. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Okay, so the last two. One other thing about, I don't know. It's not in order or anything. I'm just trying to get caught up with some of my memories that I'm hoping I'll watch this video in the future sometime and remember a few of the things, a few of the stories. But this week was a few short loads. My friend got one that was a 300-mile load. I haven't got one that short, but I had two 500-mile loads, so that was like one day each. I'd like at least 1,000. I don't know. I'm kind of spoiled, maybe. But I used to have a lot of short loads with Schneider. That's partly why I switched to flatbed, because I thought they would have longer average loads. And so far, that's been right. I don't get paid for the securing and unsecuring, and that can take a while. So securing is more difficult, takes more time. For me, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing that other people aren't. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I still take a while to do it. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind the work. I actually like it. But it's just I don't get paid for it. And so, if I spend 4 or 5 hours between strapping and tarping, and I get paid like $50 per, they call it $100 per tarp, but that's like $50 per putting on, 50 for taking it off. It doesn't cover. It's not a good financial. I don't know. It's better than nothing, but it's not what I would ask for. If I was doing the job, I would ask for $300 at least. like if I was building the job, I would probably charge $500 to do a tarp. Uh, I don't know. At least I don't know. I wonder what they charge their customers. But anyways, oh yeah, so that figures into the math of like, and it's I don't know, it's just the cadence of it. If I get longer loads, I only do like it. It only feels like real work when I'm actually strapping and tarping. I mean, the drives. I mean, it takes a while. The drive is a long time, but it's not that. It's it's super easy. It's not hard. I mean, there's some parts that are a little bit either frustrating or whatever. But anyways, what was I talking about? Getting caught up with, oh yeah, like short loads. I don't like the short loads because it's more work per driving, and it's just like, I mean, I kind of am, maybe I'm spoiled with longer loads. They might like prioritize longer loads for newer drivers. I'm not sure if they do that or not. But one good thing though, I was just noticing while I was picking up one of the loads, it was two. Let's see if I count this one load, two loads was, yeah, it was what was it? It was some machinery. It was like some either like dyes or like I think they mentioned something. I think they were like maybe for wrapping coils or like a motor, like wrapping copper wire around like making a motor. I think might have been. Anyways, it was machineries to do with auto manufacturing, and it was being actually I think dismantled and put into a warehouse. And it was kind of a little bit of a junky situation, and it was raining or like it was drizzling. It was kind of a mess when I was there. My straps were getting in puddles, and it was kind of gross. And the tarp, it was kind of a weird, bad, awkward, stupid tarp job because like why are you tarping these, and then they're kind of junk, they're probably never going to get used again, probably I don't know, who knows, but they wanted them tarped, and they're like they got a bunch of spikes and pokey bits all over them, trying to do what I could to protect the tarps. But I was just noticing that a lot of that stuff doesn't bother me as much as maybe it used to. I think it's like a lot of, I don't know, the negative energy, the negative feelings. I seem to be doing better at just doing what I gotta do and dealing with it. And even though they're short jobs, like I have in the past had a pretty good ability to think that I win some and I lose some, and it balances out. And so that's what I try not to complain too much. I think I complain maybe more on camera than I do to my boss. I try not to say anything, just do what I can. Like, what are they gonna do? But I don't know. They'll just tell me to figure it out, so I just might as well just figure it out. But anyways, that's about, I guess, where. Oh yeah, I wanted to say one more thing. I don't know when I'm gonna get this edited and posted. I might, if I'm good, maybe I'll get it done soon. But I found a way to make some voiceovers, which I'll probably start adding to some of the hyperlapse footage. It might not make. I don't know. I haven't thought through. I don't have a good plan for what hyperlapse footage to use. Should I use more recent footage, or more like, should I go back to footage I've shot but haven't used from a long time ago? I don't know. I don't have a plan. But I was thinking of doing longer talking videos. And maybe a series. I was thinking of doing like a series of things I've like look over an overview of my trucking experience so far, being a year in. What things I've learned, maybe a few things for people who haven't been in trucking to know about trucks that might be useful. A few things like that. I might probably try to make it a series and split it up so it's not super long. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. So we'll see if I get around to making those. Part of the attraction to that is I can do like in different segments, and I don't have to like shoot it all at once, and can patch it together and try to make something hopefully interesting and useful. And we'll see if I can. And I do want to start doing it as well. If I get into the swing of that, talk about some of the things I think about on the road, and that maybe some of might involve some of the podcasts I'm listening to, but different things. Like a recent question I was thinking about is what is spirit. Like I there's some things like I think I might tend to examine some things that people take for granted or just move past. But I feel like there's some things that we talk about, but we don't really know what they mean. Or I don't, certainly I don't know what they mean. I have like an idea or like a feeling about what they are, but I don't really know like exactly what I mean when I say like spirit or spiritual or. And then the one I was just thinking about today and yesterday was wisdom. Like how would you test for wisdom, or how would you encourage wisdom in like in yourself or in somebody else? How would you know if they had it, if somebody else or if you had wisdom? What is wisdom exactly, or like not exactly is too strong of a word, but like precise. I don't know. Like what is wisdom? What do we mean when we say wisdom? I think we have kind of an idea of things. We have idea of people that might be wise, or I don't know, but I want to think about what it is and try to talk about it, because I part of what I want to do, I want to be good, wise, and powerful, because and build up on all. I want to continue to be good, to do good, to be good, to be wise, to become more wise, and to gain power so that I can use what I have for good for myself and for others. So I think that is part of the story of our age, is an age of cowardice. And so many of the people who may be good or wise avoid being powerful, or avoid being influential or impactful, because it's scary, and it's there are dangers that go along with that. Like how do you know that you're good, and how do you know that what you're going to do is going to help? Or I mean, there's so many instances of people in the name of good doing harm or evil. So how do you know that you're not one of those? But if the good people won't do anything, then the world is left to run by people who aren't inhibited that way. And I think that's worse. So I think if we want to live in a better world, and I want to live in a better world, I think I need to be part of making it a reality. So I think that's the direction I want to move in. So I'll start trying. My intention is to start talking about that some, and I hope there will be some people who take interest in it. I think I'm super tired of talking about all the things that are wrong, all the problems. Of course, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of things that are wrong. There's a lot of people that are doing evil. But how things improve is not by noticing that there's evil. I mean, that's maybe a step in it, but if we want things to improve, we have to start doing something towards those ends. And I think too many good people have sort of like waiting for somebody to save them. And I do believe in God, and I do believe He is orchestrating things for good overall. But I think we are part of that story, and we are significant. And I think there's been too much in the church, like a fatalism, that I think is causing inaction, or at least giving an excuse, because it's people don't want to do things because it's difficult, and it's difficult. So it's easier to make an excuse for why you shouldn't do anything than to figure out what should be done. I think that's a big part of what's happened. So I want to stop being part of that and be part of trying to make something a little better.